Hey friends, hope you're doing well. So, Nintendo finally dropped the Switch 2, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. I've been using my original Switch since launch. Seriously, that thing got me through the chaos of 2020. So, this new upgrade feels like a big deal. And today I'm sharing my first hands-on experience. Now, at a glance, the Switch 2 keeps a lot of what we love from the OG model. It's still got that iconic hybrid design, detachable Joy-Con controllers, USB-C port, and yes, the headphone jack is still here, thank goodness. But there are some huge upgrades too. A bigger 7.9-inch display with 120Hz refresh rate, a redesigned UI, more internal storage, and a 4K ready dock with a LAN port. So here's the plan. Let's unbox it together, set it up in the living room, compare it with the original Switch, play some Mario Kart World, and figure out if the Switch 2 is actually worth the upgrade. And hey, if you're just as excited about this console as I am, drop a like and hit subscribe for more Switch 2 and tech content. Taking it out of the box, first impressions, the Switch 2 feels leagues better than the original. The build quality is super solid. No creaks, no flex. Even the speakers sound punchier and more immersive right out of the gate. Powering it on, there's a quick software update, and I've got to say, the setup process was insanely easy. I just placed my old Switch nearby, and it automatically transferred my profile, game saves, and settings over Wi-Fi in just a few minutes. No hassle at all. I grabbed the Mario Kart World bundle, so of course, the first thing I did was redeem the code on the eShop. And wow, booting up the game on this thing, that new larger display is stunning. Let's talk about that screen. It's bigger, brighter, smoother, and just way more vibrant than the original. It's still an LCD, not OLED, but honestly, it looks fantastic. It supports variable refresh rate and HDR, and it's a real game changer. Playing Mario Kart World or even older titles feels completely different with this much screen real estate. It's truly a night and day difference. Now, when it's docked, the Switch 2 outputs full 4K resolution, and Nintendo added some quiet inbuilt fans to keep things cool. I tested it on my Sony G4 TV, and the image quality is just chef's kiss. Sharp visuals, improved lighting, smoother performance, all running at 4K HDR. Frame rate-wise, when docked, you're capped at 60 frames per second in 4K. But if you drop it down to 1440p, you can unlock 120 frames per second, which is awesome for fast-paced games. The new Joy-Con 2 controllers are magnetic instead of the old sliding rail system, and they feel way more premium. They snap on with this satisfying click, and there's even a subtle UI animation when you attach or remove them. Just one of those small touches that make it feel extra polished. Nintendo made the buttons and joysticks a little larger and more ergonomic, which is great news for those of us with adult hands. Also, these Joy-Cons now come with improved HD rumble and better haptic feedback. It's not quite DualSense level, but it's a big step up from the original. And yes, these can now slide around like a mouse in some games, which I'm super excited to see developers take advantage of. Let's talk about the new Switch 2 Pro controller. Honestly, it's amazing. The grip feels more comfortable, the buttons are clickier, and the analog sticks are buttery smooth. If you play anything seriously on the Switch, this is a must-buy. I've already sunk a good chunk of time into Mario Kart World, and the game runs beautifully. I personally set it to 1440p just to get that sweet 120 FPS. And paired with the Pro controller, it's honestly the best Mario Kart experience I've had. Storage also got a much-needed boost, now at 256GB, up from just 32GB on the original. And it's not just about capacity. Nintendo switched to UFS 3.1 storage, so load times are significantly faster. We're talking 2,100 megabytes per second read speeds compared to the old 300 megabytes per second eMMC. Translation: less time waiting, more time playing. And yes, the Switch 2 is fully backward compatible with your existing physical and digital games. So your entire Switch library is good to go from day one. If you need even more space, there's a microSD express slot for easy expansion. One of the best things about the Switch has always been its versatility, and the Switch 2 just takes that to the next level. In handheld mode, the bigger screen and upgraded ergonomics make it way more comfortable, especially for longer play sessions. Less cramping, more gaming. The new kickstand in tabletop mode is also miles ahead of the wobbly one on the original. It's wider, sturdier, and way more adjustable. Perfect for gaming with friends. And again, those magnetic Joy-Cons are super handy for local multiplayer. When you dock it, the fans automatically spin up to support 4K HDR gameplay, and it handles the higher resolution and texture loads like a champ. Everything just looks and runs better. So the big question, is the Switch 2 worth it? And honestly, yeah, I think it is. Especially if you're upgrading from the original model like I am. The 120Hz display, the improved Joy-Cons, better performance docked, expanded storage, Pro Controller support, it just adds up to a way more premium experience. And the fact that I can still play all my old games, that's just the icing on the cake. But I want to know what you think. Are you planning to pick up the Switch 2? Do you think it's worth the price? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you made it all the way to the end, comment the code word Mario, so I know you're a real one. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my full in-depth review after I've spent more time with the Switch 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.